But here's something that's just crazy about Patrick Mahomes is early in his career he was more high flying, big throws across his body on the run, 50 yards down the field, almost Madden level stuff where you're playing with like a reckless abandon, but it was just everything was working. He was going all in, everything was coming up royal flush. I mean, he couldn't miss, right? He was a shooter on a hot streak, couldn't miss, right? And what's become so fascinating to me is he has not only pivoted from that, he has gone so far away from that on a game by game basis, yet that's still in the bag of tricks if it's needed. What I mean by that is he used to be, like I said, a little less efficient, a little more high flying, push the ball downfield. He's become one of the most efficient players in NFL history. I mean, it's turned into recently, it could be death by 1,000 cuts. I mean, here's 6 yards here, 7 yards there. There's 11. Oh, 3rd and 1. Dip it off to the running back. There's 4. Keep the chains moving. Right? He only had 187, 182, something like that yards in the Super Bowl. It wasn't wildly impressive. It's 6 incompletions. Won the entire second half as a throwaway. Right? So what he's been able to do, pivoting from this high-flying, high-risk player to one of the most efficient, safe, accurate quarterbacks in football is incredible. And the success he's been able to have while doing it. It's not like he took a down year. It was like, we're kind of reworking the offense here. We lost Tyreek, and I'm kind of becoming a little bit of a different player. We're going to rework. We're going to retool. A little bit of a down year. We'll just make the playoffs, maybe get bounced first, second round, whatever, right? No. His worst season as a pro is a Pro Bowl. He had a Pro Bowl, division title. Lost at home in the AFC Championship game in overtime. That's his worst season as a pro. His best season, MVP, Super Bowl MVP, set the record for the most yards in the history of the league in a season. Played an entire playoff run on damn near one leg and looked spectacular doing it. That's his best season. His worst is an AFC Championship overtime loss. Overtime. Right? It's incredible what he's been able to do and maintain this level of success. It's something I know Brady had 3 in his first 5 years. He also had 3 in his first 14 years, right? I'm not worried about that. The trajectory he is on right now and what he has already done, if he retired tomorrow, I think he'd be the 3rd best quarterback in NFL history. I think you got to put Brady 1. I don't think that's an argument. Before I reveal 2, I think he's better than Peyton. I think the physical ability of Patrick Mahomes is better than Peyton Manning. I know Peyton has the 5 MVPs, but the 2 Super Bowl MVPs and the 2 MVPs for Mahomes, I think, trumps that along with the physical talent. I think he's better than a Big Ben, who also has 2. I don't think it's particularly close. Now, I know Ben had 2 in his first 4 or 5 years, and Mahomes also has that, but Ben never got back. Or he got back once, lost. He never was able to maintain that success. I mean, who knows if Mahomes is going to, but I have a feeling he'll be back. Right? I have a feeling he'll be back. I'm trying to think of other guys that have 2. Like, I think Brett Favre has 1. Aaron has 1. Now, I know it's not all about titles, but I think he's better than both of them. I don't think it's particularly close. I think he's much more amenable. He's a better teammate. I think he's more coachable. So number 2, to me, I would say Joe Montana right now is slightly ahead of him. What he was able to do to lead and captain that dynasty deserves a lot of credit. Now, I don't think Mahomes has to get 4, though, to pass him. I think if Mahomes gets 1 more and another MVP, I think he passes him. I don't think it's particularly close after that.
Yeah.
That's my claim for Patrick Mahomes. That's my little fanboy moment there. I just think could the league be in better hands? That's one thing I saw. You know, even after the press conferences, right? He's given the flowers to Jalen. Jalen's giving them right back. They're both so humble, and Mahomes is just. I'm like, could the league be in better? Like, could the Super Bowl MVP and the league MVP have gone to a better person and a better player? No. Point blank, no. That's the exact right answer. No.
It gets dicey when you start comparing Mahomes to like some of these guys that are thought of as greats and then are greats because he's been here just for so little time.
Right.
When you are comparing Patrick Mahomes to an Aaron Rodgers. I agree. I think Patrick is more talented. I think Patrick, he obviously wins more. He wins bigger games more often than Aaron does.
Couldn't agree more.
But it's just hard because you have the years and years of like legacy of Aaron in Green Bay.
Yeah.
But like, I mean,
So what Aaron has, 4 MVPs?
Yeah,
I know that's impressive, but
it's impressive. But when you look at a pure talent comparison from that standpoint,
Mahomes is better.
you have to give it to Mahomes.
And I know Aaron throws a beautiful football, but Mahomes is better. And he wins more.
He does. And it's the big pivotal games that I think really
100%,
stand out.
100%.
It's just, it is actually insane to think about. Because how often can you compare somebody that's been in the league for 5 years to somebody that was in the league for 18, like Ben Roethlisberger? But like at the same time, he has already surpassed Ben and really anything that Ben has ever done.
Right. And so like right now, a lot of people have something like over him, right, per se. Like Aaron's got the 4 MVPs and Peyton's got 5 MVPs and Montana's got 4 rings. Brady has 7? I think what Mahomes has over anybody is he is the youngest quarterback to have a legitimate and I would argue concrete argument for a top 5 player of all time.
Yeah.
Right now if he retired today. I think this is the youngest I've ever seen where you can actually definitively say, I think if he retired tomorrow, he's a top 5 quarterback of all time.
I think so,
I think he's a top 10 player of all time, regardless of position, if he retired tomorrow.
Have you seen a quarterback go through as much pain, as much adversity at times as Patrick Mahomes, and still play at the top of his game unfazed?
Like, the only thing that comes to my mind is Phillip Rivers playing on a torn ACL, but like you said, top of his game. Phillip wasn't on top of his game. It was gutsy. He was still good, but he wasn't that.
With a high ankle sprain,
wasn't that.
Patrick Mahomes, in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl, scrambled for a 35-yard gain up the middle on an insane Philadelphia Eagles defense.
Yeah.
If that doesn't say greatest of all time to you, I'm not sure what does. Also, I've seen Patrick Mahomes make throws that I didn't even know were humanly possible to be made at the NFL level. How about the one where he's literally sideways to the ground, no feet on the ground,
that was in the
not
Super Bowl
even a
against
hand
Tampa.
on the ground,
Yeah.
throwing with nothing attached to the ground? Do you guys know how physics works? That shouldn't be possible. And to throw a dart like he did.
And for it to be dropped in the end zone of the Super Bowl.
It is the things he's able to do are...
He's quite a marvel.
They are game-changing and, I mean, just all-time great moments in football.
I couldn't agree more. And that's a perfect way to end that little discussion there. Let's go.